Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, January 29. We're back! In Squiz Kids Today, back to school screen time advice. China's sad horse goes viral, the great jellyfish beach invasion, and the policeman who became a frog. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
Well, hello there one and all, and welcome back to a new year of Squiz Kids. I hope you're as excited as I am to be leaping into a brand new year. And we start today's podcast with new recommendations from experts on limiting screen time now that we're all back at school. Yes, I know, boring, but scientists this week released a new set of guidelines to make sure that we're all scaling back our holiday screen time to make sure we're getting enough sleep to make our brains work efficiently at school. You know how the rules on screen time were a little bit more relaxed over the Christmas holes? Well, it's time, according to experts, to limit the amount of time we spend on our electronic devices, especially before bedtime, to give our brains the rest they need to be our best selves at school. No more than 2 hours per day of passive screen time for primary school kids is the recommended amount, whether scrolling apps or watching telly or YouTube. Unless, of course, you're doing homework or engaged in active research or making videos. And parents, the experts are coming after you too. They say that if parents are expecting kids to get off the screens, they have to model that same behaviour, meaning they have to put down their phones too. Who knows? You might even end up talking to each other. Imagine that. It's probably a good thing we're all back at school and back from our beach breaks, because an army of jellyfish has invaded Port Phillip Bay in Melbourne, prompting authorities to recommend people stay out of the water. A massive smack of lion's mane jellyfish is currently blobbing through the bay, forcing the closure of beaches. And yes, I didn't know either, but smack is the collective noun for a group of jellyfish, just as flock is the collective noun for a group of sheep, and pack is the collective noun for a group of wolves. See? Stick with me, and you'll learn something new every day.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a new story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in China, where a sad horse plush toy is flying off shop shelves. Shop shelves. Try saying that 3 times quickly. Anyway, it's the year of the horse according to the Chinese calendar, and thanks to an error at the factory creating this particular soft toy, the horse has been produced with a frown instead of a smile. But rather than putting shoppers off, they've been flocking to stores to buy the horse with the frown, saying that it reflects their mood. Because obviously we'd all like to be smiling all the time at all moments of the day, but it's perfectly normal most days for at least one frown to creep across our faces. Like, for example, when you realise it's only week 1 of a new school term and the Easter school holidays are a whole 9 weeks away. Ah!
Weird science.
Science is one of my favourite subjects ever. Just because you get to do cool experiments that tell us about the world we live in and why things work the way they do. And take, for instance, the most recent scientific experiment being undertaken by a bunch of scientists in the United States, where they've been teaching rats to drive cars. Now, not the cars that you and I drive around in, because clearly they wouldn't reach the pedals or see over the steering wheel, but teeny tiny little rat cars, made specifically to test rats' intelligence and also to measure their joy levels. Yep, scientists have been testing the levels of happiness that a bunch of lab rats get from driving in little cars to little fake trees adorned with Fruit Loops, which, when they arrive, they promptly eat, of course. It's all part of an effort to understand the link between how doing fun things and anticipating happiness and having happy experiences can make human lives better. You know, like the happiness you get from school holidays, for example, which are still 9 weeks away. Focus on the destination, people, not the journey.
News hounds.
Every Thursday, Squizzy the Newshound pops his head into Squiz Kids HQ to report back on fishy things he's sniffed out on the internet. And today, his nose is twitching following reports that a policeman in the United States was turned into a frog. Sounds like something from a fairy tale, doesn't it? Except in reverse. So, Squizzy did some sniffing, and he discovered that artificial intelligence was to blame. You see, police in the state of Utah in the United States have started using AI to turn video to text, which is to say, vision that they record on their body-worn cameras is run through an AI program which then produces a written report. And one policeman's body camera happened to be pointing at a television screen which was playing the movie The Princess and the Frog. And after seeing that, the AI program wrote up that the police officer had turned into a frog, which obviously he hadn't. Now, all of this is a timely reminder that while all of this newfangled technology, like artificial intelligence, is going to be really useful to our lives in lots of different ways, we still need to do as Squizzy the Newshound always tells us, and that is to stop, think, and check before believing everything we see, read, or hear online. And a shout out to the almost 5,500 teachers around the country who have already signed up their classrooms to do Newshounds, Squiz Kids' very own, very free digital literacy classroom program. And if you're not among them, the new school year is the perfect time to get involved. Just go to squizkids.com.au to sign up for your free account today. You're welcome.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What blobby creature has invaded Melbourne's Port Phillip Bay? Yeah, that's right, they're jellyfish, or lion's mane jellyfish to be specific. Question number 2. According to the Chinese calendar, 2026 is the year of the what? Well done if you said the horse. Question number 3. Name the movie that confused an AI bot that is being used by police officers in the United States. Yes, that movie is, of course, The Princess and the Frog.
Shout outs.
It's Thursday, January 29. Today is the birthday of champion Aussie surfer Stephanie Gilmore. Happy birthday, Steph. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Vincent from Canberra, Pavan from Forest Lake, Lewis from Killarney Heights, and Jemima from Mernda. And a reminder, if you had a birthday over the Christmas break, your shout-out was featured in the weekly quizzes that we released each Friday during the holidays. And for anyone who missed the cutoff, don't worry, we'll be sharing your belated holiday shout-outs in this week's episode. Starting with belated birthday shout-outs to Mia from Newport, Freddie from Perth, Will from Rivet, twins Huxley and Imogen from Sutherland, Emma from Heritage Park, Primrose from Indrapilli, Ezra from Ashwood, Ashan and Cooper from Paraburdoo, Carter from Hunters Hill, and Gory, Aaron, Kanwar and Tashan from Forest Lake. Classroom shout-outs, my friends, will resume next week. Teachers, don't forget to send us your class details now so we can give your students a shout-out on the podcast. There's a form you can find that we can easily fill out on our website. Now remember, of course, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Quiz. Your chance to prove who's smarter, kids or adults. In the meantime, get out there and have yourselves a most excellent day. Over and out.